The death of a child goes against the natural order. When that child is murdered, the feelings of shock, grief, anger, and disbelief are overwhelming. The Malfetti family of Scotch Plains, New Jersey is grieving for their son, Jimmy. Jimmy was murdered last month in Paradise on the island of St. John. Now the family is searching for justice for Jimmy.
I was the one that found out. I was downstairs painting in the basement, and I got a phone call from my sister that said, "Jamie, have you heard?" And I said, "Heard what?" And she said, "Jimmy's dead." And I said, "Jimmy's dead? Come on, you're fooling around, don't do that." And they said, "No, he was murdered."
Rosemary and Jim Malfetti's only son, Jimmy, was murdered on January 18th in the tropical island of St. John. The 41-year-old tech consultant and data archivist grew up in Scotch Plains, New Jersey, but dreamed of living in paradise. Last year, he moved to the U.S. Virgin Island, but his dream never became a reality. Jimmy was found stabbed in the neck, laying in his bed in the guest house he had rented for the past 16 months.
He loved the people. He loved the simplicity of life. He loved nature, he loved the environment, he loved paddleboarding. It suited him to a T, and he was very, very happy there.
The family has learned that the main house, which overlooked the peaceful crystal blue ocean waters, was burglarized. Jimmy's landlord, who lived in the main house, called police the next morning, but no one checked in on Jimmy. The next day, Jimmy's body was found by a groundskeeper.
They never walked the property. So they left him there for 26 hours, laying in his bed dead.
At that time, the U.S. Virgin Islands Police Department was called in, but the family claims they botched the investigation by not properly preserving forensic evidence. With the love and support of their New Jersey neighbors, their family and friends, the family is searching for justice for Jimmy. But they're also on a crusade to make sure that their son did not die in vain, and that police procedures are followed, and that anyone visiting the U.S. Virgin Islands stays safe.
The message that I want to get across is that you look at this beautiful place, and it is absolutely gorgeous. There's a dark side to it. And that dark side is that if something happens to you as a U.S. citizen, you are left alone.
New Jersey Democratic Senator Robert Menendez learned of the family's fight for justice and wrote a letter to the FBI asking the director to assist in the investigation, saying, quote, Jim's parents state that the police discarded forensic evidence, failed to collect potentially crucial evidence, incorrectly stated the date of death on the death certificate, misstated facts to the parents, and failed to check for fingerprints.
There is no justice. It's whatever they want to do. This is a key. Whatever they want to do, they will do. Whatever they don't want to do, they won't do. And that's not the way that a U.S. citizen should be protected in the U.S. Virgin Islands.
The U.S. Virgin Islands Police Commissioner responded in a letter saying, quote, a criminal investigation is a process, and in some instances, the process takes time to yield results. The Malfetti family says they have the time, but believe the U.S. Virgin Islands Police Department does not have their son's best interests at heart.
I don't even hate the person that did this or his family, but I hate the police because they just aren't doing their job.
As the family seeks justice, they are reminded of grim statistics. According to a Daily News report from the Virgin Islands, the territory's homicide rate is among the world's highest. In 2012, 59 homicides were recorded. Now, that is an average of 56 homicides per 100,000 people. It's also 10% higher than the U.S. average. Now, the family has hired a private detective to help find Jimmy's murderer or murderers. They have also set up a Facebook page, Justice for Jimmy. Now, that link can be found on our website, fioswanews.com. I have reached out to the U.S. Virgin Islands Police Department. However, my calls have not been returned. I, of course, will continue to see if I can get someone on the phone and get my questions answered. I will also continue to stay in touch with Senator Menendez about getting the FBI involved and, of course, the Malfetti family about any breaks in this case. I'm Megan Vega, Fios One News.